It's always apple season with my light and fluffy apple pancakes, and especially with a cinnamon Greek yogurt whipped cream on top. These quick and easy pancakes are made gluten-free with almond and oat flour. Then they're topped with scrumptious sautéed apples in a cinnamon maple sauce. Then they're covered with a naturally sweetened whipped cream with Greek yogurt and pecans for a healthy combination of protein, fat, and carbs to start your day. These can be batch prepped to enjoy on a busy morning or made fresh for a special breakfast with guests. We're going to start by sauteing one apple, and you can use any variety that you like. So I'm just going to take my apple core and go right down through the center and then pop the core right out. And then I'll just chop my apple into some nice bite-sized pieces. To saute our apples, just bring a fry pan to medium-high heat. And then we're going to drop in about a tablespoon of butter. I'll let that melt. And then we can add in our chopped apples. And then just give them a quick stir so they're all coated in that delicious butter. Now we're going to saute these to bring some color to our apples because color equals flavor. While our apples are sauteing, we're going to make a really simple little sauce. So we're just going to add about a tablespoon of water to a small bowl. And then we'll add 1 teaspoon of tapioca flour. And then give that a stir so it dissolves in the water. And that little bit of tapioca flour is going to help thicken our sauce. And we won't forget to stir our apples. And for our sauce, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm just using almond milk. Then we'll add half a teaspoon of cinnamon, about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And then we can give that a quick stir. We can tell our apples are cooking because they're reducing in size, and we can also smell that incredible fragrance. So now we can go ahead and pour in our sauce, and then give it a quick stir to coat all those apples. Then I'm going to turn up the heat to bring it to a nice simmer. Then we'll let it simmer for just a couple minutes to activate the tapioca starch and for it to thicken. As I stir it, I can already see that sauce becoming nice and thick. Now that our sauce is incorporated and a little bit thickened, we can go ahead and turn off the heat. Since I'll be using the same fry pan to make my pancakes, I'll go ahead and just transfer the apples to a heat-safe bowl. This pancake batter recipe will make about 8 small to medium-sized pancakes, and you can easily double, triple, or even quadruple the recipe if you need to. To make this really easy batter, we're going to start by adding our wet ingredients, which includes 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of oil, and light olive oil is my favorite, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and then we'll whisk these together until well combined. Now we can add our dry ingredients, which includes half a cup of oat flour, half a cup of almond flour, and I found that this combination of flours gives you the best texture as well as the flavor, because having a little bit of that oat flour really complements the apples, and the almond flour helps to keep it light and moist. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. And then we'll just whisk these together until well combined. And yes, I love using my little mini whisk. It's very #satisfying. And now we have this beautiful thick batter that's ready to become some light and fluffy pancakes. To cook our pancakes, I've just brought my pan to a medium heat, and then I'll give it a quick spray with some coconut oil. And then I'm just using a 1/4 cup measuring cup and scooping in some of my batter. And then we wait for about 30 seconds to a minute or until those little bubbles form around the edges. And then as soon as you smell it starting to toast, it's time to flip. Ooh, look at that beautiful pancake. I've been practicing on my flipping skills. Now I will say it really helps to have a very thin and flexible spatula for flipping your pancakes. You can see how quickly it rises up and becomes light and fluffy. Well, that looks done. The other side is perfectly toasted. All done with pancake number 1. Well, now we have a very delicious stack of light and fluffy pancakes as well as our sauteed applesauce. Now we can make our cinnamon Greek yogurt whipped cream, and all the ingredients are in the title. In a bowl, we're going to add 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, 1 cup of whipped cream, and I just whipped up some heavy whipping cream this morning. And we'll add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 1/4 a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. And then we'll just mix this together. I really like to enjoy these pancakes as layers. So I'm going to start with 1 pancake, and then I'm going to give a nice generous scoop of our cream and kind of move that around. Then I'll add some of our apples and help move those around. Stack another pancake, and then add another scoop of apples, another scoop of our whipped cream. And pecans are so nice and soft that you can actually just break them in your hand and then sprinkle a few of those on top. That looks gorgeous. What I love about adding this Greek yogurt whipped cream is that you don't have to pour on a lot of maple syrup to still have some sweetness and moisture to enjoy with your pancake. So now I can just take my fork and get a few of those pecans and apples and go all the way through both layers of pancakes. Ooh boy. That tastes incredible. As soon as I bite in, I get that delicious sweet and tangy flavor from the apples, and then I get that really smoothness from the texture of the pancakes, and then getting that Greek yogurt with the whipped cream just makes it all super delicious. Now, of course, you could pour on some maple syrup if that's your preference. I won't judge, but for me, this really doesn't need it. The natural sweetness from the apples and then the little bit of maple syrup that was in with the yogurt as well as the pancake makes them deliciously sweet without being overpowering. And it really helps to reduce the grams of sugar, so you're gonna feel great even after you eat these. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen to make these pancakes. And I've included a link in the video description below with the full recipe, which is on my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love to have this pancake recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.